with merchants within the town.
Okay, thank you. Danny, do you think the town should take any responsibility in ensuring the survival, strengthening of the Oak Ridge Military Academy? If so, would you please suggest specific steps you think it should take?
Yes, I do believe we should take a position. If you've ever Googled Oak Ridge, one of the many hits that comes up in addition to your paper is the Military Academy. And years ago, the Military Academy was basically the town. And it has a long, rich tradition in the community. It's been a fabulous place. Several people have had family members come up through the ranks. But they face a deep challenge right now financially. I think there are things that we can do and have been doing in terms of small community events by volunteers to raise funds for the Academy. From what I understand, the Merchants Association now has a member on that board as well. So I think by fostering good partnerships within the community, I think the Academy could be successful in securing its future by just participating more in the community and helping those groups raise funds.
Thank you. Tony, how well do you feel you respond to criticism, especially if it is harshly delivered? And if I were to ask your closest friends the same question, how do you think they would answer?
Well, I work in advertising, so I take criticism pretty much every day from my clients, so I'm pretty used to that. I think that I'm pretty open to criticism, especially if it's constructive. I'm one of those types of people who continually likes to learn and likes to better themselves, so I'm very open to it, and I think a lot of people would say that I handle criticism generally pretty well. I know I'm looking at my husband over there to see if he agrees with me or not, so maybe I'll add a grain of salt to that too.
Thank you. Liz, do you feel the town's community park serves the needs of the majority of residents? If not, please explain in what area or areas you feel the park is lacking and what could be done to address this.
I think the park is marvelous. I love the park. I'm there every morning with my dog. And I absolutely think it's fantastic. I am very disappointed that our horse show cannot be a part of the park. We offered, or we gave the Park Commission all the information that we needed on the show to be able to put our show there. It did not work. We're finding that we need other land, separate land for the horse show, and we are getting so much criticism for not putting the horse show in the park that we're not getting a response. I would like very much to be able to talk about that later.
Okay.
She actually had a few more seconds.
It's done. And when you get the, when your puts up the yellow sign, it's done 20 seconds. And I know that's not a lot of time, but just to let you know, you can take it all the way to the end. Roger, do you feel there are any areas in which the town could do a better job of serving its residents and or business community now and or in the future?
I think there's always areas and times of improvement. I think really the best place would be to serve these would be in communication. I think if we had better communication with not only with the people in our community, but also better communication with the vendors and also the businesses in town. And when I say better communication, I'm saying that not only we have better communication, but better communication from them to us.
Okay, thank you. Liz, some people feel that real estate agents and developers should not serve on the town council because of the opportunity to promote their own professional interest when voting on rezoning cases and development ordinances. What do you have to say to those people? And do you feel your real estate experience could be an asset as well as a perceived liability?
would certainly assume it would be an asset. And I do not think, personally, I would not be on one side or the other. I've got to be open and honest with everybody I work with. I've got to follow through on it. Unfortunately, I'm not a politician. I don't like politics. So I'm not good at answering all of these questions. I'm an individual who is very interested in working for Oak Ridge. I love Oak Ridge. This is my home. I would love to be on the town council in order to help promote any of the new areas that are coming.
Thank you. And Tony, Summerfield recently took a tax holiday, giving residents a break from paying property tax to the town. Oak Ridge maintained its property tax rate at 8.63 cents per $100 of property value. Given the effects of layoffs and unemployment on local residents this past year, do you think Oak Ridge made the right decision not to at least reduce its property tax? And why or why not?
I do think we were being fiscally smart in keeping the tax rate as it is. It's definitely a very unstable time period. We're all in instability with jobs all over. The tax rate that we have, I think, is fairly moderate, and it will allow us as a community to survive if issues did come up, and also to plan for things in the future. If there was a desperate need or an emergency situation, we would have the resources available to respond to those people as we needed to, and for the town as a whole. The other thing is, if we went to a tax holiday, it's one of those things where it's very hard to come back from if the situation was needed. So I think by keeping our consistent but low, moderately low tax rate that we have, that we're preparing ourselves for the future.
Okay, thank you. Liz, I'm going to come right back to you with that same question. If you need it repeated, just let me know anytime. And if you need a question repeated.
I wonder if on our, with the park, for instance, is there any way that we could extend the mortgage to reduce the payment so that we could reduce some of our taxes? We've got a lot of people in this community who have lost their jobs. Look at Dell, they're losing a lot of income. Is there any way that we could reduce our taxes to help these people? Well, we need to at least look into that.
Danny, this point is getting predictable. I am going right down the line on this one. So Roger, that means you'll get the same question. It's yours, Danny.
Well, I agree with Tony that the town takes a fiscally responsible approach to its use of tax money. The tax rate that we have now is how we really budget to. Instead of coming up with a tax rate based on needs of the town, we actually set the budget to that tax rate. So we work within a finite guidelines of taxes. If we were to take a tax holiday, there are other issues that would affect the town, like a reduction in revenue sharing from the different utilities and the ABC store that we get from revenue. When those go down, well, then the overall pool of money is actually smaller. To Liz's point about maybe taking in mortgaging a longer issue on the park, well, you also have to look at what's out 30 years from now. Did the town end up paying much more for the park as opposed to the rate that we have set in stone right now? So I'm pretty happy with where the tax rate is. I'm pretty happy that we didn't declare a holiday as well.
Okay, thank you. Roger?
We are compared so many times with our neighbors, and they incorporated, both of them, several years before we did, and they had some mighty nice nest eggs that was set up during that period of time off sales tax. After Oak Ridge incorporated, it wasn't about